Hello, my name's Matt Cook, and I'm the author of the novel Life on Other Planets, published on June the 10th by Lendl Press. Today's National Writing Day, and since 2021 is the Liverpool Year of Writing, we wanted to set a special Right Here, Right Now writing prompt to get the words flowing. So before I tell you about that, I'll tell you a little bit about the book, Life on Other Planets. Set in 1997, it's about a family coming together after the death of an elderly relative. Great Aunt Pearl lived in a big old house on her own and has left the Carter family quite a big mess to clear up. It's told through the eyes of Benjamin Carter, who narrates it. He was 14 when the events happened, and he's telling us from a distant future about their attempts to come together and sort everything out and grieve and kind of process the bereavement, but it doesn't go well, and they end up having something of a collective nervous breakdown. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, it's out now on bookshop.org and News from Nowhere in Liverpool, among lots of other shops and online retailers. So let me tell you a little bit about today's prompt. I love writing exercises like this, although I have to say I don't always love what comes out of them, but I think that is one of the best things about them. You never know quite what you're going to get when you sit down and you just let your brain follow its nose, if that makes sense. Just see where the words take you and then treat them without judgment and just see what you get at the end of it and feel good about having spent 5 minutes just sitting and writing, which is what we're going to be doing today. So thank you very, very much for taking part and for listening to me. One of the hardest things with writing, I think, is sitting down and feeling confident about what you're about to try and say or describe. I, throughout the writing of my book, frequently didn't really necessarily sit down confident about what it was that I was about to do. But you have to have faith that your subconscious will lead you in the right direction. And this kind of task is really good. Even if you don't generate something that you're particularly happy with, hopefully you will. But even if you don't, you familiarize yourself with the process of just sitting down quietly and writing, and also with those parts of your brain, those writing muscles that are so important. You want them to be as strong and as ready as possible, and also free from any kind of internal criticism and preemptive editing. You just want to get used to getting words out. So I don't know how you're going to be writing today. You might be writing on a laptop like me, or a computer. You might be writing longhand with a pen or a pencil. Maybe you're going to write on your phone. It doesn't really matter. I wrote a lot of my book on my phone in stolen little 5, 10 minute, 15-minute windows, exactly like this, where a thought struck me and I just kind of I tried to see where it would go, and it slowly took shape. So what we're going to do today is we're going to be looking at family memories. Family memories, memories of space. So this book, Life on Other Planets, was in part inspired by a place that I used to visit when I was a child, a family house. And what I'd like to do today for the 5 minutes of writing that we're going to do is try and remember a place that you used to go. It might be somewhere that you used to go recently. Maybe it's somewhere you still go, but ideally it's somewhere that you've stopped going. So, because I think the memories have a particular quality. Maybe it's somewhere from your earliest childhood or any part of your life. It could be indoors or outdoors, really familiar, not particularly familiar, maybe somewhere you only went once. It's entirely up to you. But I'd like you to use this 5 minutes to take us on a journey through that place. I'd like you to describe arriving at whatever kind of entry point that place might have, whether that's a door or a gateway, an archway. I'd like you to take us through that geographical space. I'd like you to build atmosphere. Maybe there are people there, maybe there aren't, maybe there are animals, plants. What does it smell like? What does it look like? How does it feel? I don't mind Doesn't really matter whether you write it as a story. It could be in the third person. You could have a character name you could make up. It could be written as a poem. It could just be an abstract list of things that you might see as you move through that space. So you could write in the first person, I arrived at the doorway. But try and describe the things as your imagination is finding them. Picture yourself moving through the space and describe what you see. Build that atmosphere and take us on a journey. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. Just see what comes out, and then when you've finished, please do tag Wowfest wherever you post it, because we would all love to read what you've been working on. So I'm going to be doing it as well. I'm going to set a 5-minute timer. Here we go. You've got 5 minutes starting now. Keep writing, guys. You got about 30 seconds left. Okay, that's 5 minutes. Finish your sentence. Pens down. Eyes front. Well done. You did it. 5 minutes of solid writing. Now, time to pat yourself on the back and have a little look over what you did. Now, I have been writing as well. I've been writing for 5 minutes, and I don't know how this will sound, but I will read it out to show you the rough-edged creation that I've kind of squeezed out in that 5 minutes. So here we go. The place that I was thinking about was a park, which was called a recreation ground, but we called it a rec when I was a lot younger. And it had two very different entrances. There was the way that you would drive there when you were going there with adults, and then there was the way that you could go on your bike. That was more of a sort of secret way. So that was the place that I was thinking of, and we'll see what I got out of it now. There are two ways to get to the rec, as we called it. You could drive all the way up past the high school and through the estate where Darren's uncle lived until you reached the main gates, with their looming statues holding up the wrought iron, eyeballing you as you went in. But if you went that way, you had to pass the bins, reeking of dog dirt, and go down the massive gravel path, feet crunching past the swings, and the stoners drooped lazily over them in ones and twos, arms lolling, watching you like birds. This was the bad way to go. The good way was the secret way, up through the little crack of footpath on Lewinson Road that split two houses neatly. This way took you up the long slope and the little flurry of misshapen steps past overgrown bushes that tickled and furred as you squeezed past, all the way up to the back of the rec, to the hump that looked down over the massive green, the anonymous place. So there you go, that's just 5 minutes of just unthinking words pouring out. There's a lot of typos. There's, I think, the odd change of tense that is a bit lumpy, but it's opened up a thought process in my head that's moved me into that place, that environment. It started me thinking about the relationship with space, and it's created a little window into that world and also into the writerly side of my brain. So thank you for taking part in this special Right Here, Right Now as part of National Writing Day and the 2021 Liverpool Year of Writing Festival. Visit cultureliverpool.co.uk/year-of-writing-2021 to find out a little bit more about the year of writing. And don't forget to tag Wowfest if you're going to post whatever you've written today online. Thank you.